Hi, I'm Steph. Welcome to Denholm. Chances are, if you're watching this today, you have recently been hiring or you're planning to recruit. So I thought I would take a couple of moments today to talk about how to create a really compelling and engaging job ad to maximise your return in what is, as we know, quite a saturated market that is often candidate short. So how do we do that? The first most important thing in creating your job advert happens before you even put words down on paper. It's really important to be clear in your mind on what you're looking to achieve and also what opportunity the job advert affords you. Obviously, ultimately what we want to do is generate a robust candidate shortlist that we can bring through process and will hopefully end in a successful appointment. Job done. But actually that is the outcome of a process, and that process begins with the job advert. What does the process look like and where do we start? The key for us is specificity. It's an opportunity for you to really be very clear on firstly what the opportunity looks like and also what the requirements of the job will be. It's really important to remember that the job advert might well be the first window that the candidate gets into the organisation. They may not be familiar with the brand, or if they are, they may have preconceptions. So take the opportunity to really showcase the organisation, to really hook them and bring them in. The biggest challenge in the current market is candidate engagement, capturing the initial interest and maintaining that right through process to a successful offer and acceptance. So if we start with job title, that should be the simplest part. It's really important to make sure that the job title is accurately reflecting the role delivery, the seniority, and is also reflective of this role delivery within the wider market and industry sector. What we would advise is to avoid any kind of generic job title, which might imply that you're talent pooling because candidates will lose engagement immediately, and also to avoid novelty job titles. And what I mean by novelty job titles is it could be that internally you refer to your head of digital marketing as your chief magic maker, which is great and it's really indicative of your culture, but it's really unlikely that your preferred candidate is going to be searching under that terminology. They may not get visibility of the role, and if they do, it's not immediately obvious that their skill set is reflected in the role delivery, so keep it very specific. From job title, we go into a general overview, and that's your sell, that's your pitch, that's your showcasing opportunity. You talk about the organisation and what sets it apart from its competitors and other opportunities in the market. Perhaps you are a market leader, a household name, you might be a startup who has recently received a crucial round of funding. Whatever it might be, use that to really leverage the opportunity, the business and the employer brand and bring them on the journey. What you want is the candidate to be thinking, how I want to be part of that, what do I have to do next? So from there, we hook the candidate with a line about the role, the overarching output of the role. So what impact might the role have on the team, the wider organisation, or even the industry sector? Next, we have an overview of the expectations around the role. And again, at this point, it's really important to be as specific as possible because this is where you're going to need to keep their buy-in. So let's talk about who they report into. Does this role report into board? Is that what the candidate is looking for in their next step? Do you want that visibility and accountability? Or are they looking for a role that reports into a manager who will offer them training, support, professional development? We then get onto the tricky bit where we outline the key accountabilities and day-to-day deliverables of the role, and this is where you can get caught by creating a wish list. And when we get into the territory of wish lists, we start losing candidates because what can happen is we create an exhaustive bullet-pointed list of every possible eventuality. If the candidate can't see very clearly where their experience applies, if there are too many elements that they feel they don't have enough depth of experience in, they won't apply. And to be honest, it could also imply that you're looking to hire one individual to carry the weight of what should be 3 individual roles. We want to talk about within that who the key stakeholders are, whether or not they have direct reports, and whether there's an opportunity for progression. We want to talk about training, professional development. We want to talk about the behaviours of the candidate, and the behaviours are really important. You ultimately want to secure the right skill set, but you will be hiring probably on values and drivers so that you get the best cultural fit. It can be useful to split the behaviours piece into essential and non-essential, and the essential within that can be the things that they must bring, so it might be a qualification or specific experience of using a software platform. And then the softer skills might be things that they may have had exposure to. Finally, and very importantly, we want to talk about what they get. Where possible, we would always encourage you to give a salary banding. Currently, just as important, if not more important, is working arrangements and flexibility. Candidates generally position flexibility above package and annual leave and softer benefits. And what does that mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that you suddenly have to be offering all your workforce flexible working, remote working or hybrid, but what it does mean is you have to be clear on the reality of what that looks like in your business. It's really useful to really think about how you're defining that as a company and how that's reflected across different teams within the business, and whether or not it's something that is applicable right now but might change in the future. Talk about the softer benefits too. HR has probably invested an enormous amount of time looking at the overall benefits package and what they can offer employees to really make your organisation aspirational for candidates. Talk about them there and showcase them so that people can see the investment in the employee. All of that is aimed at securing the most relevant and most engaged, most suitable candidates. The candidate engagement has been captured. The key now is to maintain it right through the interview process, and then hopefully that will ultimately end in a successful hire. For more top tips on talent attraction, please follow Denholm.